What's up, Vol fans? What's up, SEC fans? Catfish here, bringing it to you live from Las Cruces, New Mexico. I want to address this Greg Schiano thing for one final time. There seems to be an uproar going on across the nation. And in my defense, I don't get the access to news and television and things that most people do, being on the road traveling so much. I've done a little bit more digging in this Greg Schiano thing, and here's what it comes down to. He's more than likely innocent, and it's a he said, she said thing about whether or not he knew anything, and I have to take somebody at their word. But here's why I am against the Greg Schiano thing. There are a lot of people out there gunning for the University of Tennessee and Peyton Manning about all these sexual harassment lawsuits. You can't forget, it was just a year ago we settled a Title IX lawsuit. And let me read you some of the headlines from a year ago. 6 women sue UT. Another one says, Peyton Manning mentioned in Title IX lawsuit. Here's another one. UT coaches have to respond to Title IX lawsuits. Here's another one. UT fostered hostile sexual environment. Let's rewind before that. This yo-yo Sean King from the New York Daily News wrote a big old piece on Peyton Manning. He followed it up with another piece about the sexual harassment lawsuits and the sexual environment at University of Tennessee. He's had a thing for our university and our school for a long time because he received a lot of backlash when he attacked Peyton Manning. Whether or not Greg Schiano knew anything about this Sandusky thing or not, but the fact that he was just mentioned is enough to stay clear. I hate that he's getting run through the mud right now. I really do. I have a lot of empathy for him, and I hate that somebody can suffer at their job and their career over something like this. But we live in an environment where perception is everything. You don't need a conviction in court to tie a sexual harassment noose around somebody's neck and hang them from it. I promise you, if we would have hired Greg Schiano, Sean King, and those leftist media organizations would have jumped all over it and published piece after piece, and it would have distracted from the kids in the program, and we didn't need that. So we may be getting some bad press now, but the press would have been even worse when the national regular media would have gotten hold of it. Right now, ESPN and Sports Illustrated is running with it, but if we'd have hired Schiano, I guarantee you, Sean King would have had a piece coming out in the New York Daily News about, see, they hire yet someone else, and he would have been digging in Greg Schiano's past and made stuff up. Who knows what would have happened, but I'm just glad we dodged that bullet. I hate that we get to look like a bunch of idiots, but I am super proud of the way we stood up to the system, and we want a good coach. And my main beef with Greg Schiano wasn't even this sexual stuff. I didn't even know anything about it at the time. All I heard was a few little clips here and there, and really didn't know anything about it when I made my last video. But his defenses have gotten rung up by some bad teams. 50-something points by Iowa. Indiana ran up and down the field on them. Oklahoma ran up and down the field. He's burned a ton of bridges at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was pretty much run out because he just burnt too many bridges, and the players revolted. They couldn't stand him. Everybody wants to bring up Rutgers, but hey, you can't bring up Rutgers. Rutgers is not the SEC. He did good in the Big East, and he had 7 winning seasons, but those aren't comparable to 7 winning seasons at a Tennessee or a Florida or a Georgia. So give me a break about that Rutgers thing. So this is my last take on that Greg Schiano. I really am sorry for him and his family for what he's dealing with. I think he'll get another shot at coaching and the head coach. But I have a question. Why wasn't Ohio State protesting about that? It's probably because he was vetted. He was vetted by the Tampa Bay. He was vetted by ESPN when he worked for them, or whoever it was, some news organization. He was vetted by a lot of people. But that doesn't mean, just because he's innocent, doesn't mean there's a bunch of stink on him. And our program doesn't need stink. We don't need negative press, and we would have gotten way more negative press had we hired Greg Schiano. I promise you that. So keep plugging balls, keep your head up, and say it with me. We're going 15-0, I promise you that.